Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody. It's episode 146 of The Brink of Sanity. And Mark is back. It's actually episode 147. I forgot. But Mark is back. So
I am back, and this is the Hurricane Irene edition. For most of you, the world has already been wiped out. But for those remaining, they can hear our show and our take on the hurricane and other things that have been going on.
Exactly. I'd like to apologize for the audio quality for the previous two episodes. I don't know what happened, but apparently my mic wasn't on, so I was picking my voice up from a mic about 6 feet away. So it's hard to hear me. But episode 100...
I want to apologize for the show not being remotely professional.
Yeah, or like the drunk rambling madman or any of the other terrible things that were involved with that show.
Remember, people, this is a free podcast.
And also, I don't know what I'm doing, which is... If you've listened to the show, I mess up the audio probably once every 10 episodes just because I really don't know what I'm doing.
In real professional like radio, they mess things up, and they're professionals.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we had a hurricane. It was crazy.
No, not really.
So my big thing was the week, like the couple days leading up to it, everyone lost their freaking mind. And I don't know why this has to happen every hurricane.
It happens everything. Every snowstorm, every foggy day. Like, people just go nuts.
I saw Bloomberg on TV. I swear Bloomberg was going to announce that he was planning to preemptively burn down New York City ahead of the hurricane.
You know, it was just an overreaction to compensate for dropping the ball during the snowstorm. Yeah.
I mean, I guess in Bloomberg's defense, he screwed up with the blizzard. So here he went like butt wild, shut down the subway, shut down everything. And afterwards, are you really going to complain? Hey, Bloomberg, why was it worse? You're not going to get mad at him because things weren't destroyed.
Right. I just don't get how they messed up the snowstorm so bad. Like, they forgot to plow 2 of the 5 boroughs. And those boroughs were Queens and Brooklyn. It's not like it was Staten Island that nobody cares about.
Well, they nailed 60% of the boroughs, so I don't see what the problem is.
It's like, how do you just forget Queens?
You know, in baseball, if you hit the ball, hit kind of base 3 out of every 10 times, you're an all-star. So he's like twice an all-star for snow plowing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so basically, all my relatives were like text messaging me, calling me, being like, are you guys going to be okay? What are you going to do? And at least for us, we live on the Upper East Side in Manhattan in a big building. I was like, what are we going to do? Just stay inside. That's what we're going to do. What are we going to do? We're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're going to do our normal evening routine.
What are we going to do? Maybe we'll watch a DVD of Nurse Jackie, or maybe we'll watch we recorded Jersey Shore. Maybe we'll watch that.
Is Nurse Jackie worth watching?
It's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's not amazing. My wife's into it more than I am, but it's pretty good.
Since I'm perpetually 10 years behind every show, I am now watching 6 Feet Under.
Oh, you really are. I mean, that's one's supposed to be great. I never really watched it, but...
Yeah, I'm on the 3rd season right now.
You know what I'm actually watching right now? Speaking of being 10 years behind, do you remember the Larry Sanders Show?
Yeah, I watched the first a couple episodes on Netflix, but I am canceling my streaming today.
Why?
Well, because they're having that plan where you have to pay full price for DVDs and full price for streaming.
I actually changed mine today also. I had 2 DVDs a month plus streaming. Now I'm only 1 DVD a month plus streaming.
Their streaming is kind of terrible.
I like the streaming. You know what, the Larry Sanders Show? So I was reading online, I think Bill Simmons pointed out, or someone else pointed out, that like season 4 is supposed to be a really great Larry Sanders Show. That's where they really hit their stride. And so I watched the first 2 episodes of like the first season, and they were like okay, like kind of funny and kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
I jumped in the 4th season. The 4th season's hilarious.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, totally worth watching if you keep your streaming.
Yeah, because I watched the first couple episodes, and I'm like, this isn't really that good at all. But I remember it being funny.
I mean, the fourth season's pretty good. I mean, there's some really funny things. I would totally recommend it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get out the discs. Their streaming is terrible.
I think they have a lot of good stuff in streaming. I'm actually kind of a fan.
I don't know. I watched like 6 shows, and none of them are streaming.
They have Mad Men on streaming now. Mad Men's a pretty good show.
I have no desire to see that.
It's really good.
Everyone says that. I don't know.
It's a little slow, but like you really get into it.
I can't watch. My next show is not going to be a little slow show.
It's much better. I mean, I really like it. It's much better than Nurse Jackie.
I mean, I went from The Wire to 6 Feet Under, and both of those shows can be very slow.
You know what's a really good one? It was on for one season, like 11 episodes, but it was really good. This show called Daybreak. I think I mentioned it to you before. It's
actually on my Netflix queue because you were talking about it.
They should have it on streaming. You should just watch it on streaming. It's whatchamacallit? It's like Groundhog's Day meets The Wire. Mm-hmm. Watch like 2 episodes and like you'll be into it.
So I have like 48 hours to watch about 47 hours of material on streaming before I get
what are you keeping? Are you keeping 1 DVD a month or 2 DVD a month?
2 DVDs a month, and that's it.
See, I don't think that's worthwhile. I think you're better off doing 1 DVD a month than streaming.
Like I said, though, like none of the things I watch are on streaming.
Well, I'm just mentioning a couple of things you should watch.
I know, but I'm in the middle of 6 shows.
I started watching.
There's only so much TV you can watch.
Yeah, I never use both DVDs. I never like really need to have 2 DVDs at a time.
Yeah, see, since we've been watching 6 Feet Under, we'll watch like a disc in a night. So it's nice to have the other disc for the next night.
No, that's true. That's true. If you're watching a show that's not on freaking Netflix. But going back to the hurricane, I don't know. It was like my dad was like, "Do you have enough water? Do you have enough this?" My sister called me. She's like, "Make sure you have batteries." I'm like, "What is going to happen? I don't understand. We're in Manhattan. The buildings aren't going to blow over."
Yeah, my parents are out in Long Island, and they lost power about 10 hours ago, and it's still out.
Yeah, Long Island, yeah, you're kind of screwed there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they get a light drizzle, and people lose power.
Yeah, I've been told it's really bad out there with the power.
Yeah, 5,500 houses lost power before the hurricane even hit. I don't even know how that happened. It was like a planned
shut-off.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little weird.
They're like, we're going to lose power because of the hurricane? There's a hurricane?
Yeah. That's just like our weekly power outage.
I was so we got back. We were away in the Hamptons, actually, in Long Island. We got back Friday night because we had to come back a little early because of the hurricane. And so my wife's like, we got to stock up on bottled water, which I'm like, makes no sense, but whatever. Because we're like, we can just turn the tap on. We have water.
But what if it comes out mud because of the storm?
It doesn't happen in New York City.
You just have faucets of mud.
So anyhow, I go to CVS. It's like they're almost out of bottled water.
I know.
Then I go to Duane Reade, and there's bottled water. The woman ahead of me in line, like basically throws her money at the guy, and is like, "I don't need a receipt." Like, sprints out of the place with the bottled water. Like, it was like 11 a.m. on Saturday. I'm like, it hasn't even started raining yet. What's wrong with you, woman?
People were just panicking since they never got over the terrible, terrible earthquake we had, and it just went right into the fierce, fierce hurricane.
Talk about a week of non-events. An earthquake and a hurricane, and they're not enough to even probably wake us with the sleeping baby.
Well, you would know. Did it wake up your baby?
Well, we didn't really get hit with the earthquake out in the Hamptons. And the hurricane, baby slept fine last night. It was actually a pretty good night's sleep for him. Yeah. We were pretty happy. He woke up, I think, at 1 a.m., and then got him down around 2-something, and then he didn't wake up again until like almost 7.
That's like a full night's sleep for you.
That was pretty solid. I was pretty happy, and now he's asleep right now. Yeah, I mean, quite a hurt. Like, and the funny thing is, so about 2 weeks ago, we had a big rainstorm, and I said to my wife, I was like, the hurricane will not be worse than that rainstorm. It was brutal. She's like, this is a hurricane. What are you talking about? You're not taking this seriously. And so I had to apologize to my wife. I was like, you know what? This was nothing like the rainstorm from 2 weeks ago because it was actually raining then. Right now, it's not even raining out.
Yep. No, it's actually pretty nice. I was actually about to go for a walk when you called.
Yeah, so far, I mean, like the only casualties I've seen from the hurricane, a couple leaves fell off the tree outside my apartment window.
Wow.
Might check out his bacon neck.
That's more than I got.
Sir, lean forward and show
What
Michael
is
Jordan
happening?
your collar. Oh, see how it's all curled up like bacon in a pan?
Why?
We are not a professional show.
No, we're not. I hate, like, all these websites where you try and queue something up and then, like, this ad comes on that you can't turn off. It's just so aggravating. Why make your website like that?
Well, speaking of love,
See? And now it's going on again.
Jim Carrey's video love
Jesus
letter to the-
fucking
You know, they
Christ.
canceled both Met games, and they canceled the Jet and Giant game.
And I think the Patriots game, too.
Yeah, all these sporting events. What am I supposed to do?
You'd have to watch nonstop coverage.
I mean, and like people are obsessed with watching this. Like it's the worst thing. Like my wife was like leaving on the coverage. I'm like, turn it off. There's nothing new on there. All they're going to do is downgrade it and downgrade it until we have like a mild rainstorm. No. It's going to be awful. It was pretty nothing.
Yep, I have my Hurricane Irene map tracker on right now. And technically, it's supposed to still be on us, but it's not.
I understand if you're living near maybe if you're a Battery Park, it might have been. If you're a big building in Battery Park, you're fine also. But if you're living in a hut by the Hudson River or something like that, maybe you're in some trouble. Or if you're living in Long Island or like some other place like North Carolina, yeah, you might be in trouble. But this is. I was wondering if you'd have any problem in Queens, but I guess you didn't have any problem whatsoever.
No, none at all. No, I think other areas of Queens lost power.
I just think, you know what the thing is? Next time they have one of these storms, next time it's going to be the real storm, and it's going to be like awful, and no one's going to take it seriously because they cry wolf every time.
Yeah.
It could be like really like the entire New York City is going to be wiped out. Oh, whatever. I'm going to eat some Cheetos on my couch, and then New York City will be wiped out, and we'll have like 10 million people will die. Like, why didn't people evacuate? Well, you guys tell us to evacuate every time, and nothing really seems to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have natural disaster fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, I was up in the night, like at 2 a.m. I'm looking outside the window. I'm like, it's raining hard. I don't think it's going to get any worse. And by the time the hurricane actually hit, it was actually like better.
Want to move on to some lighter stuff?
I'll tell you. Yeah, why not?
How was your vacation?
It was good. The first day of the vacation, we got there like on Saturday night. So Sunday morning, wake up. My wife's got the baby, and I was like, we're in the Hamptons, staying in a house in the Hamptons. We're in right by East Hampton, and the area there is like very woodsy, but nice area. And so that morning, I'm like, my wife's got the baby. I'm like, I'm gonna go for a run. Just want to like get a little exercise. Mm-hmm. It's pretty hot out. Start running. Everything kind of looks pretty similar. I take a couple of turns, and I'm like, I know my way. I turn there, I turn there, I turn there. I start heading back, and I have no clue how to get back. Mm. I don't even know.
And you don't have your cell phone on you or anything? No
cell phone. I just have headphones, MP3 player, shorts, T-shirts, sneakers. That's it. I know no one. I basically went on like maybe like a 3-mile run. Should be back within like a half hour or so. I was gone for almost 3 hours.
Jesus.
Wandering around, trying to figure out how to get back.
That's no good.
And the worst part is, I don't even know where we're staying. Like, I didn't know the address, the street. I didn't know any of the names of the streets near us. I couldn't have been any less prepared.
So would you accidentally find your way home?
Well, not even. So, I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm like, I'm roasting in the sun. I'm like, this basically sucks. I'm trying to like find shade. And like I stopped running a while ago. I ran for the first like hour or so, and I was like, I can't run anymore. I got to walk and conserve energy because I need to figure out how the hell to get home. And I'm like, all these different streets. I'm like, I think this could be it. This sounds familiar, but I have really no idea what street we're on. And I walk down the street for like a half hour, and I'm like, this is not the street. And I have to walk back. Some guy rides by on a bike. I try to stop him. I'm like, hey, do you have a cell phone I could use? And he's like, no, and doesn't even slow down. Just goes by me. Then I see some old woman walk by. And I'm like, hey, do you have a cell phone? I'm kind of lost. She's like, oh, that's a shame. Do you know where you live? I'm like, no idea. She's like, oh, I don't have a cell phone. And then I'm like, okay, you don't have a cell phone with me. Then I'm walking. I see her I'm maybe 100 feet away. I turn around. I see her just go into her house next door. Like, she lives right near there,
Oh,
but she
geez.
couldn't, like, say. But anyhow, eventually, at some point, my survival instincts kicked in, and I lay down on the side of the road and rested, like, tried to think of, like, just rest because I was so tired. Mm-hmm. And some woman pulled up with her daughter in a car and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I am not okay. I am really lost." She's like, "Okay." She's like, "Do you know do you live?" I'm like, "I have no idea. This is really pathetic. Do you have a cell phone I borrow?" So I borrowed the cell phone. I know 3 phone numbers. I know my wife's phone number, my dad's phone number, my sister's phone number. So Nashville, I call my wife. She doesn't pick up.
Of course.
I'm like, of course she doesn't pick up. Why would I'm lost in the middle of freaking the woods, and of course she doesn't pick up. I keep trying to dial her, she doesn't pick up. I dial my sister, she doesn't pick up. I dial my father, and I'm like, do you know, because we're staying with her parents and stuff. I'm like, do you know her parents' phone number? He's just like, why do you need the phone number? I'm like, do you have the phone number? Oh, I can find it. Like, he's like giving me like a quiz. And then mid phone call, my wife calls back and she's like, we basically figure it out, and they drop me off at the house. But I couldn't have felt dumber that day.
Yeah,
And the rest of the trip, everyone's like, anytime I went to like take a run the rest of the trip, they're like, "Mark, don't get lost." Or if we're driving somewhere, we shouldn't trust Mark's direction. He doesn't know where he's going.
Oh, God.
Not going to really live that one down.
Nope. That'll be a running gag for like the next 5 years at family events now.
Yeah, I never really need to be rescued in the side of the road, but I'm not sure what I would have done. I guess I would have started knocking on. There were houses around, so I could have knocked on doors, but it's still kind of weird about knocking on doors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I wasn't really in like any kind of real danger, but I was just hot and tired.
Yeah, at least you didn't have a huge hurricane to worry about.
Yeah, at least I don't have a hurricane to worry about. That's good. What's been going on with you?
Absolutely nothing. Working, studying for the stupid GMAT, and basically nothing else. So I know that doesn't really help the show very much.
Is the GMAT? Is it like the SATs? Is it harder?
Yeah, I mean it's like the SATs. I would say it's almost even harder than the SATs. Maybe it's also because I haven't done any of this stuff in 15 years. I mean, I totally forgot geometry and algebra. So having to relearn it is just not fun. It's all a scam. All these tests are a scam.
I mean, a lot of it, like, I guess... I mean, the idea, I guess, they teach you all this stuff to begin with is that at some point you may, like, some professions you actually need geometry. Some professions you might need algebra. But most people are never going to need these things.
Right. It's like, why don't you learn stuff that you actually need in real life? I can't point out 90% of countries on a map.
But even that's kind of useless. Like, knowing where Qatar is, like, doesn't really help me in life. Knowing, say, how to manage money, that's kind of important. How to file taxes, that's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, it should just be real life stuff. In gym, we did square dancing instead of swimming. I'd rather have a survival skill than know how to do-si-do.
Yeah. That's really. You guys had a choice, or was it a...
No, we had absolutely no choice. It was gym, and they said, this whole month you're doing square dancing. And never will we do swimming.
Did you get, like, a hot partner?
No. I went to one of the ugliest high schools. Not even a joke. I've had this argument with people, and then I pull out my yearbook, and I say, find one decent-looking girl in my grade. And
I find that hard to believe.
Well, next time you come over, I'm going to show you my yearbook, and you're going to be like, oh, my Lord.
Was it a gym class where there are an odd number of people, where, like, they're like, well, Jay, you're going to have to dance with Steve?
They actually let you sit if you didn't have a girl to partner up with, and there was, like, 1.5 times as many guys than girls. So I kind of just, like, stepped backwards and then be like, oh, I really wanted to do this, but there's no girls left. That stinks.
And then one of the girls like, but I'm a left, and you're like, I thought you were a guy. My high school's awful.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying your high school there were just a lot of ugly girls, or they were all ugly girls?
No, there was a lot.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there was a few good-looking ones, but if you do a percentage, it's a huge, huge percentage of not good-looking. Probably
Was
like
it-
in the high 80s.
Was there something in the drinking water in your area?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, it is ridiculous. I don't even know how that... You would think just by law of statistics there would have been 4 or 5 more good-looking women in the school.
Well, have any of the girls, have you seen any of the girls, like, more recently? Have any of them turned out to be attractive that weren't attractive then?
No, a lot of the ones that were attractive are now not.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing. That is, like, not worst thing, but, like, it's kind of a funny thing. Like you, like, some girl, like, you had a crush on in high school, and you see a picture of her now, you're like, wow, did she eat the girl from high school?
Yeah, I kind of like that better
Yeah.
than have them still be hot. It's like,
Yeah, you're like, that would have been awful if I hooked up with her.
yeah,
if I
that was a
ended up dating
trap.
her.
That was a trap. That wasn't something good.
Yeah, you're like, oh, like in high school, I would have like given my left arm to date her, and now, man, that would have been, I would have already been divorced.
Exactly. So, yeah, high school. You basically have to take algebra because it's on the SATs. And
So,
that's the only
have you ever gone square dancing with your girl?
With my current girlfriend,
Yeah.
we do live in the north. I wouldn't even know where to go square dancing.
You never like at anywhere like, I guess how would you even break that out? It's not even something like, it's not like ballroom dancing. We could break that out at some point, like something like a wedding.
Yeah, it has no real life applications north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Is that like line dancing? What is square dancing exactly?
It's kind of like line dancing. I don't know. There's these stupid simple moves like do-si-do and promenade, and they are all not fun to do. Or
I'm just thinking how funny it would be if your gym class they were like, we were going to play basketball for this quarter, but instead of playing basketball, all the kids were going to learn the Macarena.
I know it's basic. That's pretty much what it was. One person got hurt in basketball, and they like never had basketball again.
Really?
Yeah, it was the doc actually.
Oh, what happened to him?
I think he got like elbowed in the face, and he actually needed stitches on his cheek. And like that was in 9th grade, and I don't think we played basketball ever again.
You know what you should have done? This is what you should have done. During geometry, you should have broken your arm.
Exactly.
That would have been awesome. Well, kids, we would learn how 2 triangles can be congruent, but Jay broke his arm a couple of years ago, and we're not going to do it anymore.
Every class I don't like, I just stab myself with a compass.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just get injured every class. by like kids just catch on to that trend, and like in 10 years, your entire school is just like who can like drool the best gets an A.
It's just like a room with padded walls. Everyone sits on pillows and tries not to get injured.
Yeah. Everyone wears sumo suits to work to school.
Yep. So yeah, I'm relearning algebra, and the only reason I have to learn algebra is because there's a test I have to take with algebra in it.
Well, I have a question. So you're going to grad school for tax?
Yeah.
Okay. So in tax, a lot of math is involved, obviously, right?
Yep, with a calculator.
I mean, isn't there like of all the like a geometry proving like triangles and stuff, totally not useful. Trigonometry, all that stuff is not that useful. But algebra, like solving equations, solving things, I feel like those skills in general. And while you're not going to have like A plus B equals C in real life, but you might have something where you have to solve that. Like, I feel like that's actually kind of a useful one. That line of thinking.
I mean, I guess it's a good way to think like logically, but it's still like it's not going to help. I mean, I have a column of numbers and I add them up.
I mean, is your job like I don't know what you actually I don't know. I know you do tax, but I don't know what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. Do you just like they're like, Jay, here are some numbers, add them up. Good job, Jay. See you tomorrow.
No, it's more conceptual, like, you know, things that get deducted and don't get deducted on a tax return. So, I mean, that's more like knowledge of tax rules and it has nothing to do with math. The actual math part is in Excel, and I hit the sum button at the end of a column.
Okay.
You know, and the fact that I have to know how to figure out the area of a triangle to take a tax class, it just blows my mind. I don't understand it.
I guess a little arbitrary, the fact that you have to do that to like get advanced skills in tax, a different like area. Like, 'cause you're going for something very special. It's not like going for like a general grad school. You're going for something like very specialized. And to get very specialized, you have to know some general thing that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, sorry, you don't know what the angle of this triangle is, so you can't take tax classes.
Where are you going to take tax? Or where are you looking to do it?
Baruch.
Okay. I mean, imagine like there are limited choices because you're just in New York. So you can only take it so many places.
Well, and my job is paying for it up to a certain amount, so I can't go to like a really expensive school unless I want to pay out of my pocket, which I don't.
Okay. And this is just going to basically, the whole point of it is not to like go to a different job, it's just to advance at the current job.
Right. Although
So-
if something, knock on wood, did happen at my job and I did have a master's, it would make me a lot more marketable if I had to search elsewhere.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, obviously it makes sense. How long is it going to take you to do it?
I think 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years.
And it's just taking classes, like, is it going to be just a master's in tax?
Yep.
So basically, you're going to be super tax man soon.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Assuming in the next 2 weeks I could figure out geometry and algebra.
I mean, what do you have to get on the GMATs to?
The school's website said between 510 and 700.
Fairly certain you could do that. I mean, like, isn't 500 like a pretty low score?
I think so, because I did terrible on my first practice one, and it said I got like a 520.
Okay, because like, isn't
And
like
I
the first
did
400 points just for writing your name?
That's the SATs, which they make easier every year. I don't get it. It's like, we're not going to teach the kids. We're just going to make the test easier. It's easier that way.
Yeah, I mean, well, that works. I mean, you have to bring the test scores up one way or another.
You don't. It's like if you do shitty on the test, you get a low grade. I don't get why you have to make the test easier.
You know what's even weirder? So in schools, like my sister's a guidance counselor at a high school, so she tells me about this. You know, like how everything's on like the 4.0 scale. Mm-hmm. I don't even understand why they put like a 4. Like they have to convert the numbers into like this weird like single digit thing. Like doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But they weight things so much now. Like when you get like honors class or whatever, they give you all these plus points. That like the valedictorian had like a 5.3.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
It's like, just let them get what they get. Why have to weigh everything?
It doesn't mean anything if you have like a 4.6 out of 4. Like, that doesn't even conceptually make sense.
Yeah, they're like the highest you get is a 4.3, and the like a top third of the class has a 4.4 and higher.
And like for other schools, how do they even interpret that? Like if you're applying to college and you have a stupid high school that goes up to like 5.
Yeah.
And everyone else is applying, it goes up to 4. Like, I would just throw those away.
I mean, the only logical way to actually do it is just like by your ranking. That's the only thing that's not arbitrary. You can't like up everyone's ranking.
Right, but I mean, if you say like I moved down to like Tennessee, it'd probably be a little easier to get a higher grade.
Right.
So I would be ranked higher, but it still doesn't mean that I'm smart.
Are you just saying that because in Tennessee they can't do algebra?
Yes, because they don't have calculators.
Like the calculator is like a new like this one calculator for the school and everyone kind of shares it.
Actually, you don't need calculators for algebra, so that was a stupid joke. You know what I mean, though.
You can use calculators in algebra as part of it. I did this volunteering thing for a couple of years, where I was preparing it's basically like a work to live shelter. These people coming back from either out of prison or off the streets, and this it's called the Dough Fund, and it's supposed to get them back in society. And what I was doing, I was like helping tutor to get people prepared for the GED. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I was doing was tutoring people in algebra. And it's amazing. These people that really just have no understanding, trying to tutor someone that has no understanding of algebra whatsoever is so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, and you go over things over and over again, and like you hit your head against the wall and be like, why aren't you getting this? You're 45 years old. And why is it even going to matter if you get this? You've made it this far in life. Algebra's not going to make a difference at this point.
Yeah.
Why do you even need your GED? I don't understand.
If you're 45 and you don't even have a GED yet, I don't know what to say.
I mean, I felt so bad. These people were really like, they all wanted to like make their lives better. I mean, they all went through a lot. Like they were in prison, or like they had like major drug problems, or they were on the street. Like they were really trying to like turn their lives around. So like the idea is get your GED, you can get a better job. But even with a GED, like, it's not like, oh, you have a GED? Well, here at Microsoft, we like to hire people with GEDs.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why can't they get the exact same job at Burger King they could get before that?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand any of that.
Yeah.
Want to take a quick break, and then I have some pop culture stories we can talk
Awesome.
about. All right, we'll be right back.
Let's cut to the chase. I'm DJ, and I do a little something called the Green Light Show. Now, I want you to be a fan of the show, so I'm making you listen to this sample. And these girls, they think, oh, as long as I show off my tits, I'm fat. I'll wear this skin-tight shirt and show off all my tits.
Yeah, I see
That'll look real good.
I see that a lot, actually, and it's rather disgusting.
And I've heard these girls, they'll say stuff like, well, you're looking.
Yeah, because I want to throw up.
Yeah, just because I'm looking at your enormous exposed tits, that doesn't mean I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like driving by a car wreck, if I were to see a 6-year-old boy's head smashed and run over by an SUV, just because I can't look away, that doesn't mean I like the way it looks. I went to go see Toy Story 3.
My bad.
I don't mean to spoil the movie for anybody, but Andy dies.
Does he get AIDS?
Andy gets AIDS in Toy Story 3 from a gay orgy. He got drunk. He went up to
At college.
The plot of this is it shows Andy leaving his parents in the beginning, his mom's house.
Yeah, his single mom.
Where the fuck is Andy's dad?
His mom's a single mom.
So the opening
have a
scene
dad.
is just Andy going, "Man, if your mom, fuck off!" And Andy drives off to his college.
Smoking weed.
Andy gets to college, and the first thing, he opens the door to his new apartment. And his roommates, who he's never met, are in there. They go, "Hey, Andy, rub this on your tongue." Andy starts fucking all these dudes. It's a big, giant orgy.
Wow.
It's like gays and lesbos and normals, and they're all just intertwined fucking.
That's weird.
And then Woody shows up, but it's not Woody. It's Andy's dick with a cowboy hat on it. And he goes, "Check out my Woody!" If you like what you hear, head on over to greenlightshow.com. You can find out everything about the show right from the homepage. greenlightshow.com. See you there.
I need a garage door opener for my balls.
What?
the fuck? I don't like the smell that usually forms down there if I go for a couple days without washing.
I'm proud of you.
It smells like onions wrapped in asshole. What the fuck are we talking about?
Hey, Dad, remember that one time I got that cock stuck in my ass?
He just went over legs and arms. In a truck not too hard to locate, featuring painted images of a peeled banana, the exposed part shaped like a condom, and a shirtless man saying, "I protect myself." To you.
What kind of fucking question is this? I'm the host of the show, and I get put down on every episode.
I love you, Tim.
John is a man of God.
Shed his precious blood.
Shed his precious blood.
And died.
And died.
Oh, my sin. And now the three guys that taught your mom that thing you like. It's Minor Detail.
MinorDetailPodcast.com.
All right, we're back.
Hey, just going back to Hurricane Irene for a second. I gotta say one thing about the hurricane. Why do they call it Irene? If you want to scare us, into evacuating, call it Hurricane Bone Crusher or Hurricane Ass Raping. Then I'll freaking move. I'll get the hell out of my building. If you call it Hurricane Irene, I think my gay aunt is coming to visit.
Yeah, that is a really, really wussy name for a hurricane.
Yeah, can't you just use really tough names? We don't use when we have these missions in Iraq or Afghanistan, we have Operation Freedom or Operation whatever. They use tough names or freedom sounding names. They don't say Operation Irene's coming to Iraq.
You know why they call it operations?
Why?
So we're technically not in a war. It's like a loophole to battle people and not call it a war.
Really?
Yep.
God, our system is fucked up.
Because they can there's rules to war, but if it's just an operation, then you could bomb the shit out of people without what is it? The UN's okay. Because you could be like, no, it's not a war. It's just an operation. We're just, going to drop a couple bombs and that's it.
It's just an operation. You've been there for 10 years. Yeah, it's a longer operation than we thought.
Yeah, it's a very long operation. You play the game Operation. It's very hard and tedious. Same with our operation.
Well, I guess that's why the Congress never votes to go to war anymore?
Yeah, because now we could say, we haven't been in a war in 50 years.
Yeah. I mean, tons of people are dying, but, not a war, though.
Yeah.
You died in an operation.
Isn't that sick?
That is really sick. Most things our government does is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I can't believe we always we want to spread this system to other places. I'm like, really? This is the system we want to spread?
I know. It's like, do what we say or we'll bomb the shit out of you. And call it a democracy.
Yeah. Speaking of bombs, Obama sucks. What's your pop culture stuff you want to talk
about? Well, there was actually a good quote from the guy from Maroon 5. He was talking about MTV's VMAs. And he said, the VMAs are the one day a year when MTV pretends to still care about music.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally true.
It's absolutely true.
You know what the best part of the VMAs is? Most of the videos they play and give awards to in the VMAs haven't been played on MTV.
It's the most ironic award show of all time. I don't even get how they could justify doing it.
Well, I understand. From what I understand, MTV, the reason they stopped doing videos is because videos keep your attention for a very short time span. So it's hard to sell commercials because people will keep a radio station. People will keep just turning it off or changing it when they don't like the song. Versus you have a half-hour show, people will tune in more. And then they found this niche, basically put a camera on anything but a teenager, and people will watch.
Which is weird because when I was a kid, I would leave MTV on all day. Because there was music on all day, and I just left it on as background noise. I had MTV on 4 hours a day.
You look at MTV2, and MTV2 doesn't play videos either.
No, they don't.
How many MTVs do they need before they start playing videos?
Yeah, well, I mean, they all start off with videos, and then they get away from it. So I guess there'll be an MTV3 that'll play videos for 6 months. I
mean, in their defense, though, pregnant teens do far better in the ratings than the latest Eminem video.
That is true.
I mean, the weird thing about MTV is they do a movie award show, which is kind of random, and they do a music award show. I don't know why they do a music award show because it makes no sense. They have nothing to do with music. They should just do a teen reality award show. That's what their actual show, their channel's about now.
Yeah, the shitty, nonsensical reality show awards.
I think the T in MTV now stands for teen.
That should be our next top 5. The hypothetical awards that MTV would give out.
If you notice, a lot of channels no longer are what they started out as either.
Yeah.
TLC, the Learning Channel, is now about learning about midgets.
Yeah,
and
it's just
families
a freak
with tons
show.
of kids.
Yeah, also USA used to be awesome.
What was on USA that was awesome?
Well, when I was 11, it was all just cheesy bikini movies and super violent action movies, which was awesome.
That's true.
And Gilbert Gottfried was on all the time.
What's on USA now?
I have no idea. It's not that.
I think Burn Notice is a popular show on there. I've never seen Burn Notice, but I've seen the advertisement for it a lot.
The thing with USA now, they show bad movies, but not completely terrible where it's actually fun to watch. It's just a not good movie.
Are you thinking, is that true because they actually are showing worse movies, or because your tastes have gotten better? You'd stand for more things when you were 15 years old.
No, they would play campy, trauma movies, movies that were bad on purpose, just terrible, terrible movies. Are you
talking about 3 a.m. or are you talking about 4 p.m.?
They're all Friday and Saturday night. They would play movies that Mystery Science Theater would make fun of. Which if a movie's really, really bad, it's entertaining. But if a movie's just not good, it's just a miserable experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to understand for them, it's those random Mystery Science Theater movies were appealing to way too small of an audience.
I guess. I mean, it worked for 10 years. Is there C-level movies they're showing now pulling in a much bigger audience?
I really have no idea what's on the USA in general.
I think that's the problem in it itself.
I've never, it's... USA Network's been around for a long time, but it's really low down on my list of networks.
Yeah. They used to have Duckman, which was awesome.
That was good. Duckman was good, and that other one with the hot girl, what was it? Based on that 80s movie, the one where they made the girl out of
Weird
science.
Weird Science.
Yeah, they had Weird Science, the TV show, which was pretty good.
Yeah, see, they used to have actual decent stuff.
Okay, so I pulled up what's on tonight on USA, and maybe this is your problem. 6 p.m., Law and Order SVU. 7 p.m., Law and Order SVU. 8 p.m., Law and Order SVU. 9 p.m., Law and Order SVU.
Are you serious?
10 p.m., yes, Law and Order SVU. 11 p.m., USA Movie, Angels and Demons.
Wow.
They have a couple of shows. They have, just in general, everyone's doing their own TV shows now, which is better. A lot of stuff on cable is better than what's on networks. I don't blame them for this.
Yeah.
Royal Pains, which I heard was actually decent for the first season. I've never seen it. Yeah. And Burn Notice, which I've heard is actually pretty good, but I've never really watched. But let's see. And Monk is supposed to be pretty good.
Monk is really good.
Okay, so you're not really killing USA. Let's see. USA, this is great. I don't know what the problem is. So USA, Monday at 7 a.m., Law and Order Criminal Intent. At 8 a.m., Law and Order Criminal Intent. At 9 a.m., Law and Order. Apparently, all they play is Law and Order.
So they have about 4 shows and just play them on loop.
From 6 a.m. through 5 p.m., they play Law and Order Criminal Intent. Then at 5 p.m., they change it up and put Law and Order SVU on. Then at 6 p.m., they play NCIS. Then 7 p.m., they play NCIS. Then 8 p.m., they play NCIS. 9 p.m., they play WWE Wrestling for 2 hours. Then some show called Suits at 11. Then at 12, Law and Order SVU. Law and Order SVU. Your problem is they don't play movies anymore.
So the program director is either just drunk or just does not care.
Oh, this is great. So I'm on the Tuesday from 6 a.m. until... Okay, they have the exact same show on from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. That show is Law and Order SVU. They play it the entire day on Tuesday. They're running like some special July 4th marathon every day of Law and Order. So all USA is the Law and Order network that shows some other things every once in a while. Okay, here. So Wednesday they show 10 straight hours of NCIS.
So the program director just hits copy paste and then goes home.
I mean, okay, then Thursday it's 5 hours of Law and Order and 5 hours of NCIS. Then an hour of Burn Notice. They don't even play their shows very often. Like Burn Notice, they just think they have 8 hours of Burn Notice.
I know. They have a show and they're like, yeah, it's not that good though, so we're just going to play other people's shows.
They play, I've seen 3 USA movies. They don't say what the movies are. Okay, then we have on Friday, 6 hours of Law and Order, 6 hours of NCIS, The Royal Pains, some USA movie. Oh, at 2 a.m. they play B movie. The Jerry Seinfeld B movie.
Oh, yeah, BEE movie.
Yeah. And then there's your first B movie. Then Saturday, they play a bunch of... Okay, so Saturday they play a bunch of movies. It's the only day of the week they play a bunch of movies. They play Ocean's 13, Angels and Demons, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Patriot. So really, USA has gone from a network that plays some good, sticky, good, campy shows and some, good movies that are Mystery Science Theater movies to just being the Law and Order network.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And throwing it seems like they're programming. There's 144 hours in a week. It seems like 100 of those hours are devoted to Law and Order, 30 hours to NCIS, and then 14 hours to other programming.
It's like the program director is just a madman.
I mean, what are these meetings hey, so what do you want to do for a line for Tuesday? I want to play 24 straight hours of Law and Order. Are you fucking around? No, I thought this would be great for our network. We're gonna. What's the problem? Well, the first problem is we played 23 hours of Law and Order yesterday. I know. So we want to like up it a little more. We also have 20 hours of Law and Order for the next day. I don't see the problem. I think it's genius.
I really want to go to lunch, and this is taking too long. So we're just going to show Law and Order all day.
Yeah, you know, it's like they've gone to, like, they have this schedule in Excel. And you know, you can just drag down the schedule, drag down something, and it'll just copy whatever you had in the first cell.
Yep.
So it just goes every day. It goes down Law and Order, drag down Law and Order, drag down Law and Order. Every once in a while, it throws in an NCIS, and that's the entire schedule.
Yeah, let's order some sandwiches.
That is the least imaginative scheduling.
That's hilarious.
They have their own show, Monk. Why don't you show like 20 hours a Monk every week?
I don't know. There's like 9 seasons of that too, or something.
I mean, Law and Order. Like, I guess there might be 30,000 episodes of Law and Order, like between all their different versions. But still,
yeah, that's just nuts.
I mean, is anyone looking at the schedule for like each week, like getting their like TV guy, being like, shit? Monday they're only playing 16 hours of Law and Order. What am I going to do for the other 8 hours?
They're just like, we'll just corner the market for Law and Order. They won't even look on other channels for Law and Order.
I'm fairly certain Law and Order gets like there are reruns of Law and Order on other networks also. So
yeah, there are, and there's also the channel it actually airs on.
Yeah.
Weird. All right. Anyway, Punk'd is back.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Is it still Ashton Kutcher?
He's producing it, but there's going to be a different celebrity host each episode. So the first episode is going to be hosted by Justin Bieber.
Oh. Okay.
So we can tune in on the second episode, I guess. It sounds like it's going to be... He's punking Taylor Swift. I mean, these are two people I could care less about.
You know what would be great? If, like, Justin Bieber, all the fame you've gotten, no one actually likes your music, no one gives a shit about you. You've been punk for the last 15 years. This was like an entire thing was a joke. You're no longer famous, but no one gives a shit about you anymore. Go back to whatever damn town you came from.
And we want our $300 million back.
And Taylor Swift, you've been punked. You have to do porn now.
I just can't... It would be really funny if his voice started cracking and he was just covered in zits next year.
Yeah. I mean, the show...
That doesn't happen to rich people, though.
What? Getting covered in zits?
Acne, puberty. I don't know. They just go
I think they have, like, special, like... If you have enough money, you don't have to have acne.
Yeah, I think so. They just go from, like, a little kid to, like, a good-looking teenager. They just, like, skip puberty.
Some of them look weird. Like, what's his name? Fred Savage looks kind of weird now.
I haven't seen him lately.
Well, order a pizza. He might deliver it.
He's producing Always Sunny.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well for... I'm sure he's actually doing pretty well for himself. I love that show, so...
Yeah.
FX has become one of the better networks.
Yeah. Yeah, they came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they really have a lot of, like... I mean, you watch Louis yet?
No, I heard it's not that good.
Really?
Yeah. I
think it's actually one of the best shows on TV. It's really, like... Some episodes are really funny, and some episodes are just really interesting. I think it's done really... I'm not sure if that might be on Netflix streaming. You should stream that or just get it on Netflix.
Well, in 5 years, I'll probably check it out.
It's really good. You're really missing out. It's really well done.
It's actually almost annoying being this far behind because now I want to talk about shows and like people are like, dude, I've been done with that show for like a decade.
I mean, people have really been done with 6 Feet Under for a decade.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of annoying.
Like one of the main characters in that show has done 6 seasons of another show.
I know.
Since that.
Yep.
Yeah, they have it on streaming. You watch Louis today on streaming.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one show to watch. Watch like 4 or 5 episodes of that.
All right. Brad Pitt is a lifesaver.
What'd you say?
I said Brad Pitt is a lifesaver. Did you hear about that?
Oh, I thought we were going to still talk about how good FX is.
No, I don't want to talk about FX.
What did Brad Pitt do?
He was on the set of World War Z, and a woman fell over and scraped her leg, and he picked her up.
I thought you were going to say he was on the set of World War Z, and he canceled production.
And, yeah, no, but they're just saying that he saved her life and he's a saint and all this stuff, which he has a very good publicist.
So she fell, scraped her knee, and he picked her up, and that was the entire story?
Yep, only they're turning this into, like, Brad Pitt saves woman's life from getting trampled, and, yeah.
Maybe, like, saves woman from being trampled. Oh, I see it right here.
Yeah.
Turned real-life hero.
Yeah, I just, no.
Wait, so the Hollywood movie star was filming a chaotic zombie invasion scene. This movie sounds awesome. When he noticed a woman had slipped and fallen in the sequence shot in Glasgow's George Square, reports the Scottish Sun. Pitt and director Mark Foster are reportedly growing slightly concerned about the number of injuries that have already occurred over the course of filming a hugely anticipated movie. Why is this hugely anticipated?
You didn't hear about it?
Have you heard of this movie?
Yeah, World War Z is, it's written by Mel Brooks' son, and it's supposed to be really, really good.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it? So, like, what's the...
It's just a really good zombie apocalypse story.
Is it a comedy, or is it like...
No, it's like zombies take over the whole world, and it's the people trying to survive. It's basically, like The Walking Dead.
I mean, I've got to say, I've seen the zombies take over the world 30 times already.
Yeah, apparently this one is better. I haven't read it yet.
Do they grow intelligent? Are they like the apes from like the Rise? Like, are they like a Planet of the Apes kind of thing?
I have no idea. I mean, I've been wanting to read it for a while. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Would it be interesting if the zombies became really intelligent, like the apes, and they took over? And then would it be really a problem if they were like intelligent people that were dead running society?
They wore like leisure suits and smoked pipes.
Yeah.
And had British accents.
Yeah. I kind of want to see Rise of the Apes, though. That new one.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Ghostbusters 3 is apparently a go.
Really? That's a terrible idea.
It could be, could not be.
Well, here's the question. Mm-hmm. Is Bill Murray in it?
Apparently they're waiting for him. They have the script written, and everyone's in except Murray, and he's, like, waffling.
So the movie doesn't matter unless he's actually in it.
That is true. I hope they do it like they had a cartoon series probably like 10 years ago where they had the original crew from like the original 80s cartoon like training a group of newer Ghostbusters. And that's basically the only way I could see doing this movie because I think it would be ridiculous having a bunch of 60-year-olds like doing this.
What if like the Ghostbusters fought like the World War Z people, the zombies?
I don't think their contraptions would really work on zombies.
Oh.
I think they'd probably be dead pretty quickly.
Oh, so they'd show up and you're like, we have zombies. Oh, we bust ghosts. Sorry, we're going to go home.
Yeah. They're pretty much useless for any other scenario.
Yeah. Well, that's annoying.
Yep.
That is like such a... Why make a part 3 of a movie that everyone who saw it is now so much older?
And part 2 is terrible.
I didn't even mind part 2. But part 2 was out like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't like part 2 at all.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for an apology for that one.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, part 1's great, obviously.
Yeah. Part 1's a classic. But there's a new rule that we either have to make a sequel or redo every movie from the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, are they going to make what else can they make part 2 of, or like a sequel to?
Over the Top.
That would be pretty good. I'd see that. Gremlins 3, they could do that.
Ghoulies, like 5.
What else is going on in the news?
Absolutely nothing. It's a bunch of Kim Kardashian articles. And I am just so done with the Kardashians.
I thought it was Kardashian.
I don't care. I really don't. It's just a bunch of spoiled rich bitches that are famous for absolutely no reason.
I think it'd be funny though if like girls like started like trying to like follow their path to success, which would be like, okay, you need to film a hardcore porn and then your career will take off.
And then step B, ? Step C, be rich and famous.
Yeah.
I really just don't understand, like, what she does other than, like, stand in front of a camera and smile. Like, she's famous just because she's famous. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, remember you actually used to have a talent or have done something to be famous?
Yeah.
I miss those days.
Well, it's like the Paris Hilton phenomenon. There's no real good reason you're famous, but you are.
Yeah, she's super, super famous, and there's absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Well, then again, you watch Jersey Shore, and like you actually think those people actually are famous for a better reason than, say, Paris Hilton.
Yeah, and that's no reason. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like I don't like this trend.
You know what's going to be the worst thing about Ghostbusters 3? Is they'll do what they'll do with all these movies when they make like a new one of it, or make a remake of it. They try to add all these special effects to make it look over-the-top crazy, which makes it look so much worse.
Yeah, I mean, when they actually used like real things like animatronics, and it actually looks better than all this computer animation crap.
Well, like, my perfect example, I love Die Hard. I think it's one of the greatest action movies. Probably that and The Rock are the two greatest action movies of all time. Mm-hmm. Die Hard 2, still pretty good. They made Die Hard 3 many years later, and I was skeptical, but Die Hard 3 was awesome. Die Hard 4 was horrendous.
They was terrible.
Over-the-top special effects, over-the-top fight scenes, and just, like, it made the movie so bad.
Yeah. When he drove the car into the helicopter, I was, like, reaching for the remote to turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, they have to understand the reason people are seeing this is not to see just cool special effects. They want to see, like, things that, like, I don't know, him, like, against crazy odds doing, like, cool stuff, not just, I don't know. They make these movies so terrible.
I don't think we are the norm, though. I think other people just like flashy lights and loud noises.
You go to the theater and all it is just flashy lights, basically. Like, just fighting, and they're like, why are they fighting? I don't know. I'm not going to explain in this movie why they're fighting. That's what makes the movie so good. It's avant-garde.
Well, I mean, that's why everyone liked the new Batman so much. There was, like, 4 completely pointless action scenes.
You didn't like the most recent Batman?
No.
I thought you didn't like I thought the Joker was awesome.
Yeah, the Joker was really, really good. But then there was a lot of, like, crap in there, too. There was, like, a chase scene, like, chasing a truck for, like, absolutely no reason.
That was kind of a weird scene.
It was just, like, thrown in there. It's like, hey, we need an action scene. Let's chase that truck. And then they had Two-Face for absolutely no reason. Like, I don't know why they're trying to cram so many people into it.
Oh, I hate when they cram too many bad guys. The new one's going to have a lot of bad guys, I think, again.
There was no point of having Two-Face in there. So, like, I don't know. The Joker's performance was awesome, but there was a lot of crap in that movie. And everyone says it's, like, the greatest superhero movie ever. Like, really just needs to rewatch that.
What is the greatest superhero movie ever?
I don't know, but it can't be that. I like the original Batman better.
I love the original Batman. I think the original Batman's probably up there with the greatest one. But it is, like, really campy when you watch it again.
Yeah, but that's what Batman is.
The Batman, the original Batman's good. Not the original, but the one with Michael Keaton's really good.
Yeah.
All the sequels sucked. The most recent Batman, I didn't love the new beginning one, but I think the one with the Joker was pretty good. They can do a lot with Batman. Superman's always kind of suck. Even the original Supermans really weren't that great.
No, they weren't. Yeah, Supermans are bad. He's just a bad character. It's like you can't have everything.
But you know what? Like the TV shows, like I've heard. What's that TV show he does? They do with the
one where he's a kid, Smallville.
I've heard that's pretty good, but I've never really watched it. And then I remember watching they used to have like Lois and Clark, and I thought that was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't know. As a character, like I like to have a weakness. It's like, okay, you have super strength, super speed, you could fly, you have X-ray vision, you have heat vision, and you're invulnerable. Okay, well that doesn't sound like I like a character to have a weakness, so you actually think for a half a second he might actually lose. I mean, although
it's like his only weakness is this rare rock called kryptonite
that everyone seems to have.
Yeah, kryptonite is like as rare as water on these shows. It's everywhere.
It's like it's only found on this remote planet that nobody has access to, yet every single supervillain has like a suitcase full of kryptonite.
It's like you went to the one place where kryptonite is everywhere.
It's like it's just available on eBay.
Yeah. Like they're like the way they used to put asbestos in buildings, they put like kryptonite in buildings there.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know. I guess they have to do that because he has absolutely no other flaws.
You ever see the movie Kick-Ass?
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
I thought it was pretty decent. That was pretty decent. I mean, that wasn't like I guess it's a comic book, but that was a pretty decent one, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else? What else is a good action like a comic book superhero?
I liked The Watchmen a lot.
I didn't see The Watchmen.
Yeah, I thought that was very good. Didn't really like the Spider-Mans.
I thought the Spider-Man had some cool action scenes. Not to be like...
It did, but there was like way too many slow moments.
Yeah.
And I'm not watching the new one. Screw that.
When's the new one coming out?
I think next year. He's going to get bit by a spider again. They're starting over again.
Oh, God.
Who cares? We know it. We know that.
We get the story.
It's like every director's got to put their own take on it, so they keep retelling the same story over and over again. I don't need to see the beginning.
Well, it'd be better if they retold the story and really took a real different take on it. Like in this Spider-Man's going to be played by a Haitian gay midget. That would be a different take on it. I got like, okay.
Or like Batman, I get it. They had the campy version and then they had the dark version. But as soon as the next director comes on, he's going to start it over again.
I think they said they're going to do that.
I know it's stupid. Yeah, and you did the silly fun Joker and you did the dark crazy Joker. So what are you going to do now other than rehashing old territory?
Which Joker is better?
I kind of like the crazy one, the dark crazy one.
He was really good.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense to have him be like completely insane than just like Ronald McDonald.
I mean, Jack Nicholson I thought was so good, but I have to say I actually like the new one better.
Yeah.
And I could, but when they said they were going to redo the Joker, I was like, you can't. Jack Nicholson nailed it.
Yeah. Well, there's two different takes on the character, and they both nailed what the character was for that purpose.
Have you seen The Incredible Hulk?
Which one?
I guess there are two of them. Have you seen either one of them?
I saw both of them.
How are they?
The Ed Norton one's good, and the other one is terrible.
Which one's the first one?
That's the other one. I don't know if it's the Hulk or the Incredible Hulk. Whichever one was the one before the Ed Norton one was really bad.
Why is it so bad?
Well, he fought a dog, and that was it. That was the only bad guy in the whole movie. I mean, it was like a big mutant two-headed dog, but still, it was a dog. And then he ran from the government. But it was like just not... There was nothing fun or good about it.
I mean, I used to like the TV show was great.
Yeah. The Ed Norton one was
like,
good. They made him look really good, and there was actually good action scenes and stuff.
They didn't make him look cartoonish, or like they did the... I know, because I remember seeing I wanted to see Incredible Hulk, and I saw it, he looked like a cartoon, and I was like, this looks stupid.
The one that wasn't Ed Norton looked too cartoony. The Ed Norton one, he actually looked good.
Okay. I mean, why don't they just take some like muscle-bound dude like they did with like Lou Ferrigno? You don't need the guy to be like gigantic.
Well, in the comics, he's supposed to be like ridiculously big.
Oh. Well, the comics, like they know.
What do they know? They've only been going on for 50 years now.
I mean, I guess they came up with the idea in the first place.
I like how they have like 500 issues and they just keep redoing issue 1.
What do you mean they keep redoing issue 1?
Every Hulk movie is him with getting exposure to gamma rays and turning into the Hulk for the first time. Like, that's every Hulk movie.
He's not that interesting of a character, I guess. Well, he's interesting for the TV show. I don't know.
He's an interesting character. They just don't do it. Like,
well, didn't they do? I thought the thing with the movie was they thought the one with Eric Bana. I'm looking it up here. I thought they thought that one was so bad that they wanted just to redo it again.
That I could understand because that one was really bad, but they're gonna keep. All these superhero movies keep redoing the beginning story.
So the one with Ed Norton is actually worth seeing?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even find it on Netflix. What the hell is it called?
It's either the Hulk or the Incredible Hulk. I don't know which one's which.
I looked at Incredible Hulk. I didn't find it. It must be. I mean, obviously, it should be here. I'm looking up Ed Norton now.
Yeah,
so
look
it
up
should
Ed
be.
Norton.
He's got to be under one of Ed. What year did it come out in?
It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I think 2006 was the bad one, so it's probably like 2008.
Oh, here they just have it right here, the Incredible Hulk. I didn't get that there. Oh, I have to. I have the DVD. I have to. If they had this in streaming, I'd watch it. But if it's not in streaming, I'm not really going to watch this.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my list of Netflix things that I'll never get.
Yeah, I have 400 things on my list. I'm never going to get to 90% of them.
Yeah, I mean that's why I really like until they switch them to streaming. I don't even bother watching half of them.
I mean, I would do streaming if they had more stuff I want to watch.
There's a decent amount of stuff on streaming. I think you're like I understand the idea because you're watching 6 Feet Under, but I think there's a decent amount of stuff you can just if you limit yourself just to shows on streaming, you'd probably be happy.
Right, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like I watch Modern Family, Dexter, Californication, The Office, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and none of those are streaming.
That's not true. Californication and Dexter stream.
No, not anymore. They pulled them.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Well, they keep pulling stuff. Also, that's annoying.
Yeah, I have a list of 100 things that were in my streaming queue that are no longer available.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the one problem with that.
I want to watch Breaking Bad. That's not streaming.
Breaking Bad's awesome. Have you started watching that at all?
No, that's going to be the show after 6 Feet Under.
That's one of my all-time favorites. That one's great.
And, yeah, I mean, like, all the shows I watch just aren't streaming, so it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see it. It is a little more of a struggle. I do watch stuff I would not watch normally.
Oh, and How I Met Your Mother, that's not streaming.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, you don't, with the baby, we don't watch enough. Like, we don't have time to watch enough stuff. That, like, one DVD at a time is fine for us.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but, like, those are the shows I watch, and none of them are streaming, so it's like I could either just, like, stop watching them and then watch what they offer, or I can not get streaming.
My baby's been asleep for a while. He was asleep for over an hour prior to the start of the show. Maybe an hour and a half prior before starting it, and we've been on for like an hour, and he's still asleep.
That's crazy.
His sleep schedule has been changed like so random. Like for a while, he was just not sleeping during the day, and today we got him to sleep during the day, and now he's just out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of anything else. Any other good? Did you see Hellboy?
Yeah, I like that one, actually. Hellboy 2 is better than 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about, what's the other one? Not Mega Man.
Megamind?
No, the one with Robert Downey.
Iron Man?
Oh, Iron Man. That was pretty decent.
Yeah, they were both good.
Yeah. Oh, the second one was good?
Yeah, the second one was good.
Oh.
That's actually streaming, so I watched that.
Okay, I'll watch that. I'll watch Iron Man too. Now I have... The thing also is I have, like, now an hour to watch TV between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. or, like, some random time in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. So I have to, like, find stuff to watch. So that streaming's pretty good.
Yeah, they did a good job with Iron Man. Both of them.
Okay. I'm not going to see Thor or... All the ones they've released this year look terrible. The Green Lantern and all that stuff looks terrible.
Green Lantern got terrible reviews.
Yeah. Well, that's also another superhero that doesn't he have no weaknesses?
Who?
The Green Lantern.
I don't really know anything about Green Lantern.
I think it's the problem. I think no one knew anything about them.
Yeah, it's a DC comic. I don't know anything about that.
You don't read DC comics?
No.
Why?
I don't know. None of those characters ever appealed to me. They're all like plain.
Who else is DC?
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Oh, so like pretty famous ones you just didn't read.
The Flash.
So what do you read?
Like X-Men, Spider-Man. I don't know.
I heard the new X-Men was actually really good.
Yeah, I heard that was good too. I got to watch that. Actually, that got really good reviews. I didn't want to watch it at first because it's called First Class and not one person from the First Class is in it. But I heard if you could ignore that, it's actually good.
Yeah, I heard that was really good. Okay, so I think our show is done for today.
Yeah, we're really rambling and probably bored everyone to death. So If you're still listening, thank you. And,
If we didn't bore you enough in the first half hour,
yeah.
tune in the second half hour.
All right. So, yeah, we'll be back soon, and we'll be back soon. I don't really have anything else to add.
Okay, cool.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave.